Hey everybody, this is John
And I'm James.
from Cousins on Drums. And we've got two monster drums here. I've been wanting to do this episode for a while. Um, these Bell Brass are, my favorites as far as, just that you kind of get that woody sound, but it's also, a metal drum,
Yeah,
and you get those qualities of it too.
right. You get quite a crack on these guys.
We were just tuning them and trying to pick them up, turn them around, and they're just 20 pounds of metal. It's just crazy.
It's heavy. It's very heavy.
So this one in front of me is a '90s Tama Bell Brass, and it also has the Bell Brass hoops. Um, for sound comparison, we put a die-cast hoop on this one to mimic the other one there. Um, the similarities are the lugs are the same. The throw offs are different, but the shell. This is actually the third bell brass that I've had made, and I had them all made to the same specifications as this one, and all the other Tama bell brass, even from the '80s. So
Hmm.
it's 3 millimeters thick. It's got a sharp like 45-degree bearing edge on it,
Yeah.
and and the gentleman that made this actually put like a really big, you know,
Snare bed.
snare bed on it, right?
Yeah.
So you can put wide, wide.
They are quite something. I mean, so you can see it on camera. Oh my god. Ah, yeah. It's quite a heavy drum.
But when I had this made, I picked out all the hardware for it,
Hmm.
and like I said, I wanted to kind of mimic this drum, but because of the Tamas that were reissued, they had the newer butt plate and throw off.
Right.
I thought they were far superior than the '80s one.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. I agree. I agree. This is really nice on this side because you can turn it, but you feel it click
right? It does have
every
like a click
so
to it.
far. So um, that's a really nice indicator.
And we,
And the this is just smooth as can be.
yeah, I mean they're a great throw off.
Mm-hmm.
I like this type too. These level action type.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they call them cam throw off, but they're real nice. But you only have the one adjustment. You don't have it on this side. I would have maybe put that on that drum, but I think the newer one's superior to this.
Indeed.
And
Indeed.
plus, these are hard to get.
Right.
They're
Right.
not very plentiful.
And to be honest, you want the newer ones. You want the adjustable one
Yeah, and I
with the
figured,
adjustment on this side. Even if you're going, yeah, I don't really use that. You'll use it.
right. But I figured even it came on the other bell brasses,
Right. Right.
so it was a good
Which
choice.
that when were they issued? That was just a few years ago.
Yeah, that was in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a 40th anniversary, and then I think they did another limited edition one when they
Okay.
came out,
Yeah.
and then that was it.
Yeah.
So yeah, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as sound, James was playing, both of these, um, and pretty much took my head off.
It's quite a crack
But
when you lay into these.
but what did you think about compare these two?
I mean, they're. I mean, as far as like hearing both of them, I actually kind of like the clone a little bit more. The Terminator clone. It's very sci-fi, you know. But I mean, just playing quietly, these they sound really close to one another.
Hmm.
This one, uh, it just sounds like it has a little bit of muffling on it, and
Yeah,
that
it does.
just kind of like made it sound a little nicer. We've got both drums with no muffling on them when I was playing them, and there's no muffling on it still. Um, but I mean, it just sounded fantastic. You know,
Yeah,
um,
I agree.
they're often called the Terminator because they can do just about any job. Of course, you don't want this on a like a little quiet jazz gig,
Right.
because they are loud. But for recording, I mean, they are the drum. They're often rented out in the recording studios in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Um, you can do lots of things with them. You can crank these up super tight. The tension will take it, or the lugs will take the tension. And so you can get almost piccolo-like. You can tune it down real low. You can get a ballad drum out of it, and it still has that massive amount of crack to it. So, I mean, these are really good drums.
What I like about them too is they're dry,
Yeah.
so you really hear every little nuance with them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And since they are dry, it just makes for a better recording.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, so yeah, we have the same wires on these. I mean, like I said, the same lugs. The throw offs are different. The heads are they're both Evans heads, so they're similar. They're both Tama heads on the bottom, Rezo heads. And then we took quite a bit of time. Well, James did, as far as tuning them to get them as close as we possibly could.
Yeah.
It took us a while to tune them in, but they're very very close.
Yeah.
But I think James is right. This drum. I mean, you're talking about a $5,000 drum because these hoops alone, they sell for $1,400. This drum, you never see them on the market, never. And when they do, they're like five grand. And I actually saw a guy that paid $6,000 for a 1980s, like the first version of it that came out. I was like, that's nuts.
That's a lot of money.
That's totally crazy.
Yeah.
But
Which is why you want to get
right
the cheaper one.
And, well, it's not cheaper, but
well, it's not cheaper. We should say
it's
less expensive.
Right.
It's still, what is it?
Well, I think I sold my first one for around 2,100, and then the last one sold for around 2,000. So this one's up on, it's on Reverb, and I think it's on eBay too. A little bit cheaper on Reverb, but I mean, for the price, you're getting a sandcast, drum that sounds just like this '90s.
Yeah.
And somebody had mentioned to me, "Oh, is it like I'm worried about resale and stuff like that?" I'm going,
don't worry about that.
No, because there aren't many of these around, and they're going to hold their value because how many people have $5,000 for a snare drum?
That's true.
But $2,000, if you're a serious drummer and you have the cash, I mean, you definitely want one of these. I mean, if I was just going to have one drum, this would be it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
So fantastic instruments. Really fun to play. Like I said, loud as hell, but really like you can get a lot of nuance out of them. They're super sensitive, and they're just beautiful drums too.
Yeah.
I guess the worst part is just handling them.
The worst part is trying to get them around. It's like we said, they are heavy. You pick up a wood drum, like a mahogany drum next to it, and it just seems like nothing compared to these guys. But just to reiterate, they are fantastic instruments, and like I said, you can get the tremendous crack out of them. You can tune them down real low and get some depth. You can tune them up real high and get almost piccolo-like. Really versatile drum.
Yeah. And I actually heard they made like a 3.5 depth.
They
one.
did, yeah.
And a guy was selling one, and he had a video of it, and I was amazed. That thing sounded like a 5 or a 5.5. It's crazy. These drums are just incredible as far as the tuning range you can get out of them.
Right.
So you're absolutely right. You can get a ballad sound out of it. You can get a piccolo, and anywhere in between. I think the way we got them tuned is just ideal. It's like a medium high.
Right.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we will have another one shortly here, and hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you're interested in this drum, you can contact me through YouTube or through Reverb. And have a good day and stay safe.
Take care.